Living a Healthy Life with your hosts, Ipek and Craig. The show which explores simple things we can do to feel better today than we did yesterday.
Bringing you the most up-to-date information is our mission. Each week, we'll explore different ways to make today the best day of your life.
With me as always is my beautiful bride, Ipek, and my name is Craig. It's all happening this week on Living a Healthy Life. We are back. We are in the studio. Welcome to another episode of Living a Healthy Life. My name is Craig, and as always, I'm here with my beautiful bride, Ipek.
Hi, everybody.
Another jam-packed show for you today. If you haven't already, grab a pen and paper, which, by the way, should be a staple when you sit down to listen to Living a Healthy Life. If you're driving in your car, know that you will be able to get the recordings up on our Facebook page, which we want to make sure we're mentioning and is bringing a lot of traffic. It's starting to pick up.
That's right.
Digging on it. Check us out at livingahealthylife.today. That's our website, www.livingahealthylife.today. You can also find us on Facebook at livingahealthylife.today. You'll find show notes, articles. You'll find links to past episodes. It's all happening online, and we're excited to have that to share with you. My favorite question of the day. What are we talking about today, Ipek?
We should tell them what we're excited about. This episode, we will be sharing with you about the importance of water.
Water.
That's right.
We are going to list a number of fun facts that we're going to talk about today. I think it's pretty safe to say that Ipek and I are infatuated with water.
Yes, we are. We're water addicts.
Oh, so good to be addicted to water. I am proud to say.
That's right. It's good to be alive.
Amazing. I think first things first, everybody needs to be walking around with a bottle of water, a glass bottle of water, which we're going to get into maybe today. We're going to see how this conversation goes. We might get into this in another episode. This is the first of many episodes on water.
That's definitely true.
Right? And you're going to hear water influencing many of the topics that we talk about from here out. It's something that is so pivotal as we start to get into really how important water is to humans and to animals and to us as a planet.
Living beings.
It's everybody needs to be carrying a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Take it with you everywhere you go. Disaster preparedness is a whole other topic. We're going to do a whole show on it. It happens to be something that's bubbling up in our community right now. And Ipek and I leave the house. We have a gallon of water with us.
In addition to our liter bottle.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we drink out of.
So, again, very, very important. You're going to hear about all these little fun facts that we were able to figure out, some of them not being so fun. But we're talking about water today.
Yeah, we're going to keep it real. I think what you mentioned about carrying a water bottle with us everywhere, we also just carry it around the house with us. We're not wasting, carrying a glass of water where it might get, catch any dust or anything could get into the glass. And also just, washing dishes. We don't want to waste any water. So we carry our water bottles literally from our office to the living room, to the kitchen, to the bedroom. And when we leave the house, we'll always have our water bottle with us. Yeah. It just creates that convenient factor, in my opinion, and not waiting until you are thirsty or dehydrated. Just have a little swing of water every hour.
Yeah, by the time you feel thirst, you're already dehydrated to a certain extent. We're going to get into some of that in a little while, but I think that that's a fantastic point. Keeping your water bottle with you will keep you drinking water. And it keeps you hydrated. We're going to talk about a lot of the benefits of that.
It's a nice reminder.
Yeah. I think it's a nice habit that we've formed in carrying that water bottle with us everywhere we go. And we invite you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So how did this all start with our infatuation of water? I mean, I think, look, it's safe to say that everybody, all of the experts say we need to be drinking more water, and that all of the other drinks that aren't water should be cut out. I mean, right? In the most extreme sense, the only liquid you need to consume is water.
That's right.
Right? You can cut out the coffee, the soda, the fruit drinks. All of that can be cut out. They are not necessary. Yes, they're enjoyable, but they are not necessary. The only one that is necessary to life is water. And we're going to talk about just how prevalent that is in a couple minutes. We've been infatuated with water now for, I think, really as long as we've been together, 8.5 years. Ipek and I have been drinking water since my days working in an NYC bar and slinging drinks. I was always handing out water and making sure that as people consumed an alcoholic beverage, their next drink was a glass of water. By the way, it's a great way to beat a hangover. Not that I promote drinking alcohol in any way, shape, or form, but alternating water and alcohol will certainly save you a nice headache.
Yeah.
The following
I'm
morning.
actually going to be going into some of the benefits of drinking water later in this episode.
Mm-hmm. So what do we do with water? Well, in our house here about 1.5 years ago, we actually had somebody from San Diego Pure Water. Shout out to Bob Fadum and
Bob.
his amazing team. We actually had them come and test our water. And San Diego ranks on a list of, they tested the 100 top cities or big cities with 250,000 people or more, and San Diego ranked 92 out of 100 as far as water quality. Not so good.
Not so good.
Not so good. So we've got this research. We're going to post it on our Facebook page, but we did not do so well. There's lots of contaminants in water, and there's lots of contaminants in our public water source as well. I can't speak for every water source everywhere, but I can speak for our water test results here in San Diego. And we found chlorine, chloramines, ammonia, fluoride, a pH level of 8.46. Alkalinity was high at 109. Hardness, sulfates, copper, all sorts of really interesting things that you can test as part of your municipal water supply. And some of them are additive. Some of them are simply byproducts. Some of these things just wear off of the pipes underground before it gets to your faucet. So just a few things for you to be aware of. If you haven't had somebody come out and test your water, I highly recommend having that done. Highly recommend having that done. So we want to get into some fun facts about water here.
That's right. We have lots of great information, statistics, numbers to share with you guys that we came across when we were doing some research.
Cool. So Ipek and I are just going to kind of hammer some of these out and...
let's do it.
Yeah, let's take it from the top, right? Let's start with science, just so that we're all on the same page. Okay, water is composed of 2 elements, hydrogen and oxygen. It's 2 hydrogen plus 1 oxygen gives you that fabulous 3-symbol word.
H2O.
H2O, baby. Oh, yeah. There's the same amount of water on Earth today as there was when the Earth was formed, which means the water from your faucet could contain molecules that dinosaurs used to drink. I think this is something that's really interesting, right?
Pretty cool.
And it makes sense. The Earth is a closed system. We have an atmosphere. It keeps everything hunkered in. It's either in the ground or in the air or on the surface. Really, really interesting. Water is the only element to continue on the science front that exists, that's known to exist in 3 states: liquid, solid, and gas. It's the most powerful solvent on Earth, and it has the highest surface tension, which I think is really interesting, right? Bugs and flies and insects can actually stand on water.
Yeah, and the water is water is part of a deeply interconnected system. So what we pour on the ground ends up in our water, and what we spew into the sky ends up in our water as well. So that's an important fact to keep in mind. And nearly 97% of the world's water is salty or otherwise undrinkable. And another 2% of it is locked in the ice caps in the glaciers. So that only leaves us with 1% for all of humanity's needs, which include the agriculture world, residential use, manufacturing, our communities, and even our personal use. Mm-hmm. So, water actually, it's so essential to Earth and all of our survival.
Drinkable water.
The water actually regulates the Earth's temperature. It also regulates the temperature of the human body, which carries nutrients and oxygens to the cells. It cushions the joints, it protects our organs and tissues, and also removes waste.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
essential to our survival.
So powerful. Water, it regulates the Earth's temperature, and it also regulates the temperature of the human body. I mean, so essential.
Yeah.
Right? You talk about something that being that essential. So 75% of the human brain is water, and 75% of a living tree is water. Okay? So we're not just talking about the human element here. We're also talking about all the different animals, reptiles, mammals, you name it. If it's on this
all
earth,
living being.
it needs water. Plants, insects,
everything.
All of it has a relationship with water. To talk specifically about humans, in general, we are 70 to 90% water depending on age. And of course, different organs and different parts of our bodies are different percentages of water.
Yeah. So on average, what we came across was that on average, an adult drinks about 2.5 liters of water each day to sustain normal life function, normal bodily functions. And another 1.5 liters of water is absorbed through the skin when we take a bath or when we shower.
We're going to talk about a little bit more about this. We just want to take a quick break, and we want to hear from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to continue talking about water, some of these facts that İpek and I have figured out, as well as some of the research that is out there. We'll be right back. HealingOils.love is the place for doTERRA certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils.
Essential oils have been used throughout history in many cultures for their medicinal and therapeutic benefits. Learn about how you can use essential oils every day to maintain a healthy lifestyle and keep your family operating at its highest potential.
Join our communities on Facebook and Instagram at HealingOils.love for tips and recommendations on how you can begin using doTERRA essential oils today. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We are living a healthy life. I'm İpek. No, I'm Craig, and I'm here with my beautiful bride, İpek.
I'm İpek.
Yes, you are. And today we're talking about water. İpek and I have had an infatuation with water.
That's a good word.
Water is so good, right? So we're talking about fun facts and things that everybody needs to know about water. It starts with carrying a water bottle everywhere you go. If you get nothing from this show, understand that we all need water to survive. And we got to be carrying water with us everywhere we go. Drinkable water, potable, drinkable water is key. And we should all have water with us everywhere we go. And here's why. There's something called the rule of 3 in survival. And that basically means that humans can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Rule of 3 in survival. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Obviously, what's important today is that 3 days without water.
Yes.
Once you're thirsty, once your mouth is dry, you are way dehydrated. So at that point, you're dehydrated. It's time for you to drink a lot of water. İpek and I start our day, as you guys heard about our morning routines and morning rituals, we start our day with 16 ounces of lemon water. I would add on top of that the more often you can squeeze a half a lemon into your glass of water, the better. There's no need to only do it in the morning.
Definitely.
Do it in the afternoon.
It helps you digest your food and gives you a nice perk of energy, which is amazing.
Absolutely. A little bit more on the science here. Water expands by 9% when it freezes. Frozen water or ice is lighter than water, which is why ice floats on water, which I thought is really interesting.
Yeah.
The average total home water use for each person in the United States is about 50 gallons a day. And the average cost for water supplied to a home in the U.S. is about $2 for 1,000 gallons. We're going to have like I said, this is the first of many episodes that we're going to have on water, and we're going to talk about the water industry at one point.
Yeah, definitely.
Bottling water and limiting access to water. But for today, we really just wanted to get some of these facts out, and we're going to talk about waste. Ipek, why don't you tell us a little bit about waste?
Yeah, so the waste is since the average faucet releases 2 gallons of water per minute, you can save up to 4 gallons of water every morning by turning off the tab while you brush your teeth.
Turning off the tap while you brush your teeth, tap water.
Yeah, I think that's a great statistic. And a running toilet can waste up to 200 gallons of water each day. So make sure that none of the toilets in your house are they're running. You'll notice it with a little trickling of water sound. And at one drip per second, a faucet can leak 3,000 gallons of water in 1 year.
Unbelievable,
This is a lot of
right?
water wasting.
A lot of water wasting. The average faucet, 2 gallons of water per minute. Turn off the water while you're
not using it.
While you're washing your face, don't let the water run. I actually have a pretty gnarly habit of letting the shower run in the morning while it warms up. I've changed that as of about 6 months ago. I now start my morning with a cold shower while the water is warming up.
It is what it is, yeah.
Let me tell you something about a cold shower in the morning. It will get you going.
It'll
I don't drink
wake you up.
coffee. I don't drink coffee. And it's in part to a nice cold shower. Now, I know people who take cold showers straight through. They never let the water get hot.
Yeah.
I just jump in when the water's cold and wait for it to get hot. So I'm only in a cold shower for maybe 20, 30 seconds. Yeah.
And another suggestion I have for the shower is when you are washing your body with soap, or when you're lathering up, or if you're shaving, it's a good opportunity to turn the water off for a few minutes and then turn it back on.
Absolutely. I thought this was really interesting that a bath uses up to 70 gallons of water, and a 5-minute shower uses 10 to 25 gallons of water.
Yeah.
So depending on how long your shower is, obviously will depend upon if it makes more sense or if it's more efficient for you to take a bath versus taking a shower.
Yeah.
This was something that Ipek and I were just talking about. Was it Sunday night? You took a bath, right?
Yeah.
And I was mentioning that it's more efficient to take a bath, and here we are with the statistics and the numbers.
Yeah.
Average bath, 70 gallons of water. A 5-minute shower, 10 to 25 gallons of water, depending on your shower head and any restrictions that you have on it.
Yeah.
748 million people in the world do not have access to an improved source of drinking water.
That's a lot of people.
748 million people, almost a billion people. 2.5 billion do not have use of an improved sanitation facility. I think a lot of these numbers we take for granted. We don't realize quite how good we have it here in the United States and other developed countries. There's some 1.8 billion people worldwide drink water that is contaminated with feces. The World Health Organization recommends 2 gallons per day daily to meet the requirements of most people under most conditions, and around 5 gallons per day per person to cover basic hygiene and the food hygiene needs. This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. Here's a few more facts. On average, an American resident uses about 100 gallons of water per day. Now, in comparison, on average, a European resident uses about 50 gallons of water per day. That's half. Americans, 100 gallons, Europeans, 50 gallons. And as far as a resident of the sub-Sahara Africa uses 2 to 5 gallons of water per day. These are incredible numbers. In developing nations, women and girls are primarily responsible for collecting water. And on average, 25% of their day is spent on this task.
Unbelievable, right? You want to talk about how lucky and how blessed we are here in the States or Europe in a developed country. I walk to the faucet, takes me 10 seconds. I turn on the faucet, I get my drinking water.
Yeah.
Really, really powerful. I think one of the biggest and best things that we can do abroad is donate to groups that bring water to
clean water
and drinkable water to underdeveloped countries and underdeveloped communities around the world. This is one of the most powerful things that you can do. There are nonprofits and NGOs all around the world that focus on digging wells and bringing water to places where you can fundamentally change their lives. People walk marathons a day, 26, 27, 30, 40 miles a day to get water.
In order to survive.
In order to survive, because it's that important to us.
Yeah.
So really, really interesting, and a wonderful way to make a difference in this world is to provide drinking water, potable drinking water.
And save lives.
Really, really powerful. We want to talk about some of the research that's out there, which is not surprisingly, but is extremely interesting for Ipek and I.
Oh, yeah.
We, some of the figures and some of the things that we've just shared with you and that we're talking about in today's episode came from The Secret of Water, which is a documentary. There's a couple versions that you can find out there on the web. We'll link to the version that we like on our Facebook page.
Yeah, it's the one that was released in 2015, and it's available on Gaia Network. That is spelled GAIA.com, or you can also find it on Amazon Video.
Yeah, some of these figures come from the EPA. Some of them come from treehugger.com. So we got a few different resources that we use to come up with some of this information. I've been following Dr. Masaru Emoto's research now for a couple years. Really, really interesting. When it comes to water research, this guy has it all going on. Oh, he's the man. I'm going to tell you about 2 studies that he did very briefly. And I welcome you to take a look at his research and his group. Really, really fantastic stuff. His first study, he froze water for 3 hours and photographed it under a microscope, playing music and saying words to it and watching how it crystallized. So basically, he video recorded the crystallization process under a microscope. So what he was recording was, how do the crystalline structures form in water when you play different types of music, like classical versus hardcore versus rock versus hip hop, that sort of thing, and watching how they crystallized. And then he also used words. And said nice things or said hateful things to that water. And what's interesting is that depending on the messaging behind the words or the music, the water formed either beautiful crystalline structures or jagged crystalline structures. And you got to see this to really appreciate and understand quite what it's all about. It's really remarkable. We've all seen snowflakes or pictures of snowflakes and how beautiful they are. Well, how they form has to do with how that water is treated. And I'm going to bring this home here after I share with you the second study. The second study that I think he's most famous for is he took 3 beakers of rice, he filled it with water, and for 30 days he approached each one of the beakers and he said one statement to each beaker. The first one he said thank you. The second one he said you're an idiot. And the third one he just straight up ignored. He didn't say anything to. What's really interesting is that the beaker he said thank you to began to ferment, and it gave off a pleasant aroma. The beaker he said you're an idiot, the rice turned black. And the one that he ignored, the rice started to rot and smell really, really atrocious, right? So 3 different beakers, 3 different outcomes, one statement. Again, this is just a beaker filled with rice. All 3 beakers have the same ingredients. However, they were just treated differently by the words that was explained. And I think why this is so powerful is because in the beginning of this episode, in our prior segment, we told you that the body is 70 to 90% water.
Yeah.
I just want you to think about that for a second. The words that we use to speak with one another, or the words that we use to speak to ourselves, the self-talk that we all have in our head, very, very powerful. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. We're going to have an episode on that at some point. Really, really powerful. Treat each other with love. Live in love. Appreciate one another and treat each other right. It makes a tremendous difference. And just our connection to water and the amount of water that's in our bodies, I think, is a really powerful reason why.
Yeah. Great stuff, Dr. Emoto, and that's spelled Emoto. We recommend you Google him and look up some of this images that Craig described. I'm going to go into some of the benefits of drinking water and why it's important to stay hydrated. First off, it increases energy and relieves any fatigue in the body. Since the brain is mostly water, drinking helps us think, focus, and concentrate better, and also be more alert. And again, like I said, it also boosts our energy levels. Water also promotes weight loss, removes byproducts of fat, reducing eating intake, and reduces our hunger, raising our metabolism, and has 0 calories, which is amazing. Water also flushes out toxins. It helps us get rid of waste through sweat and urination, which reduces the risk of kidney stones as well as urinary tract infections. Water improves skin complexion. I would have to say it's the best anti-aging treatment around.
Water.
Water. Drink lots of water. And it shows in people's complexion. If they have drier skin, it shows they're dehydrated. So it helps us stay moisturized, keeps our skin looking fresh, soft, glowing, and smooth. Water also helps us maintain regularity in our digestive tract. It's essential to digesting our food and prevents constipation.
Keeps you moving.
That's right. Water boosts our immune system. It is if we drink enough water, we are actually less likely to get sick. And who wouldn't rather feel healthy the majority of the time, right? So drinking water helps us fight against flus, cancers, colds, any other ailments like even heart attacks. Water is also a natural headache remedy. I think you mentioned this earlier, Craig. It helps us relieve and also prevent headaches, including migraines and also back pains or any sort of just aching sensation in our body. It just helps us stay hydrated.
Water prevents cramps and sprains. Proper hydration helps keep joints lubricated and muscles more elastic, so joint pain is less likely. Water also puts us in a good mood. When the body is functioning at its best, you'll feel great and you'll feel happy. Just drinking water will keep you lighter and in a better mood. Really, really powerful.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of all, you can save money by drinking water. Water is free. Even if you're drinking bottled water, we're still talking about water is $1 versus soda drink or other drinks can be more than $1, right? So you're still saving money even if you're going with a bottled water option. Really, really powerful. These are just some of the things that we thought were really interesting as far as 10 benefits of drinking water. Don't medicate, hydrate. This is an article that we picked up on Mind, Body, Green, and we'll be sure to post that to our Facebook page as well. Thank you so much for listening to us. Once again, this is Living a Healthy Life with Ipek and Craig. And of course, I'm Craig.
And I'm Ipek.
We want to remind you all to live in love. And we want to say thank you. We'll be back next week with love and gratitude.
Thank you so much. Ipek Design is a collection of handmade accessories crafted with love and intent. I create each unique piece, setting forth an intention to bring positive energy to the recipient. As I design in my various collections, I charge my creations with positive affirmations for abundance, prosperity, and happiness. Please visit my website, www.ipek.design. You can also find me on Instagram at Ipek Designs. Remember, maintaining positive energy is the essence of true happiness.